Is this budget whiskey going to make it to the checkout counter? Well, we'll see. Tonight we are talking about Glen Elgin, 12-year-old. It's bottled at the Glen Elgin distillery. And of course it belongs to Diageo, bottled at 43% ABV. Definitely not going to be natural color. It's going to be chill filtered. It is, it border on the budget whiskey for me, 45 euros here in Belgium, but I've also seen it online going 38, 39 pounds or US dollars for this bottle. So definitely not a bad price for a 12-year-old whiskey. And of course it is a single malt Speyside, ticking the right boxes for me. I'm a little bit of a Speyside fan myself. I like the lightness of the whiskies coming from there. I like the fruity flavors that comes out there. Probably ex-bourbon, 12 years old. There is a little bit of a golden color coming out. And if I twirl the glass a little bit, there is a little bit of a viscosity, little nice slow legs running down the glass. So, let's see if this one is going to be a purchase for a full bottle. And of course, I'm buying a lot of my whiskies from an online store here in Belgium. And of course, if you can imagine being a YouTube whiskey review channel, it does cost a lot of money to buy all these whiskies, and it's not always possible for me to buy a full bottle just to review. I think if I stop buying whiskey now, I will be drinking whiskey for the next 3-4 years before I'm going to finish all the bottles. So yeah, I have to buy some samples. And a big shout out to them. They are reasonably priced. They have a huge collection of whiskies. And it's nice to go through the whole list every month to find something that I want to try and review. This is what the bottle looks like with a number on it. And I give you a print out of the name of the whiskey. So of course this helps me tremendously to try some more whiskies. And of course, if I'm interested in a specific whiskey, it's nice to have this tried before you buy it. I hate wasting money on whiskies that I do not like. And I know a lot of my reviewers and online subscribers are telling me they never have that fantastic opportunity. So yeah, it's a big shout out for topwhiskey.be. It's not a sponsored video, I buy my own, but they are really doing an excellent job and spreading the love for whiskey, and of course creating a little bit of a passion and making sure that you buy something that you are going to like. So that over. Of course, it helps if you like, share and subscribe to my channel. It helps it grow. We are monetized, so just a reminder that all the money coming in from ad revenue, the Patreon account that I also have, you can do also a thank you, and all that money is not going to me, it's going to children in South Africa. My wife and I have been supporting this fundraiser for, I think, for last 6-7 years already, and all proceeds 100% goes to that children, and we are buying food for them, so that helps them tremendously. Nobody wants to go home or go to bed with an empty stomach. So on to tonight's whiskey, the Glen Elgin 12-year-old Speyside, 43% ABV. Now, when I first poured it, it was a little bit on the dead side for me. It really needed a little bit of an agitation, maybe a little bit of a swirl just to wake it up, get that aromas released, and then you get that lovely, light, sweet notes coming out. And the first note that I pick up is a little bit of a light honey note, maybe a little bit of a orange blossom honey, and it is lovely, light and sweet. Now, it is 12 years old. If you do wake it up a little bit, you get a hint of, well, it feels like it is a little bit younger for me. Maybe a little bit of a 8 to 10-year-old. There's a little bit of a ethanol notes coming out. Now that little bit of that esters notes that's coming out. And when it settles down quite fast, and you get a little bit of an orange peel oil note coming out. But everything on this whiskey is subtle. It's subdued. Nothing is shouting out that's trying to overpower the whiskey. And I think that's also got to do with the 43% ABV. Good for Diageo for not trying to reduce it to 40% ABV. I would love to try this at 46% ABV, just to get that little additional notes that can come out of that. There's a little bit of a vanilla note, and then I get a little bit of a hint of a green apple note, like a crispy green apples. So definitely not complex. There's basically 3 notes that I can pick up, but the funny thing is I keep on going back. I keep on looking for something else. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it, but it is pleasant on the nose and I really like it. So of course we need to taste it as well. And I'm quite looking forward, and I'm really hoping that this, well, almost quite a budget whiskey is going to be nice enough for me to go buy a full bottle, go to that checkout point. Now, on the taste, cheers. Wow. On the taste is definitely a lot different for me. That fruity note is definitely there. But it is much sweeter on the taste for me than what on the nose. On the nose, it was more a hint of sweetness, well, a little bit more than just a hint, but it was not so sweet than I have on the taste. And the next thing that you immediately pick up is a spicy heat. And I'm quite surprised at that. It is hot, it's spicy. It's almost got a little bit of a chilly effect in the mouth. It's a heat coming out of it, and I'm a little bit surprised at only 43% ABV. Maybe Diageo knew best and tone it down a little bit, because I can imagine that 46% ABV would have been much more spicy. But definitely the spice level is there, almost like a pickled ginger type of spiciness, that heat that comes out. So quite interesting on the taste. I'm just going to give it one more try. Cheers. It's so drinkable. There's a little bit of oakiness, a little oaky tannin, but out of 10, maybe a half out of 10. And I think it is good to have a little bit of that tannin, a little bit of a oak, a little bit of a bitter note as well, just to tone down that sweetness. Again, on the taste, for me, it is definitely not a complex whiskey. That is that flavors that comes out. There's a little bit of that apricot, dried fruit note, maybe also with a hint of dried apples. But there's definitely a dried fruit component. Nothing fresh about the taste of it. But it is so lovely, and I think that's going to make a perfect summer whiskey. Now, it is a lovely Saturday here in Brussels. The sun is shining. I don't know what happened to winter, so I am really enjoying my time here in Brussels. It's one more week before I start traveling again. And of course, keep an eye out for my review on the Emirates airline. I'm quite looking forward to giving them a go. Flew with them many times. Never made a review, and I know a lot of people like the reviews and see what whiskies are they going to offer me on Emirates and what is the food going to be like. So please remember to like and subscribe so that you can also get a notification on that whiskey. Well, I am not a travel channel, but I do like traveling, so I'm mixing the two. So I hope you forgive me if you are not interested in that. You don't have to look at everything. But yeah, for me, the whiskey, is it going to go to the checkout counter? Am I going to buy it? Well, I'm at 50-50. I know there's a lot of other whiskies that might be a little bit better, give you a little bit more variety, a little bit more aromas. But to be honest, if you are a new whiskey drinker and you just want something to relax, something just to enjoy without all the frills with drinking whiskey and the smelling and the nosing, just something that you pour on a Friday evening or a Saturday evening, you don't have to think about it. Sometimes you have to just wake it up a little bit. But it's a pleasant whiskey, and it's something that I will definitely recommend. Give it a go. Let me know in the comment what you think. Is it something that you would recommend to your friends? Is it something that you've tried? And of course, how much did you pay for this Glen Elgin 12-year-old? So with that, me standing at the checkout counter, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I see you next time. Cheers.